hate the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am JLP Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question for this week, a doozy. A mamma mia, a hola, a si, senor, a gracias. The biblical question. Are you a memory worshiper? Are you a memory worshiper? Are you? Is you or is you ain't? A memory worshiper. Get to know yourself, folks. Do what you want, but I recommend you do. If you don't want to know yourself, that's fine too. Stay in your hell. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about doing whatever you're doing and you can't sit and watch the show, you can listen on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour today. Manhood Hour. Your friend, my friend, the friend of Bond, one of the smartest white men on this side of heaven. And everybody know it now. I hear from you all the time. Bill Lockwood is here. We haven't seen him all year. He's here. And for those who might not know, Bill Lockwood is the host of Patriot Pulpit and Bible studies with Bill Lockwood. He is a preacher of Our Part Church of Christ in Texas. And I want to encourage you to support him. You will not regret it. I encourage you to support him by going to American Liberty with BillLockwood.com. Bill, good morning, Happy New Year, and welcome back.
Hey, thank you, Jesse, for having me. Great to be back with you. I hope your New Year's going well.
So far, so good. So I get for people to support you, those who want to support you, they go to American Liberty with Bill Lockwood, right? .com.
Yes, sir, that's correct. There's a donate button on there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct. Yeah, and thank you for that, Jesse. That's important. Of course, we can't do this work unless people support us.
That's right.
We don't get government funds.
That's right. What? Nah. And I really want people to help your work because we need you. We need you to be able to help more and more people as you have done and are doing. So, do you make plans for the year? What do you call that thing when you make a plan? This year I'm going to walk on water. What is
Well,
it?
I don't have any resolutions. You
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah,
No, I did. I don't. I wanted to be more diligent in my study,
yeah.
but I haven't made any specific resolution.
Nice. So, Bill, the Great White Hope is back. He's in
That's
there.
wonderful.
I
That's
know.
great.
There is a God.
That's right. Well, he's given us a lease, in America.
And so, what's your outlook on Trump administration so far?
It's wonderful. I tell you what, I really like it. He's comes in there. He does know the groundwork now. He knows the lay of the land.
Yeah.
He came in there with an agenda. He says, "Here's what we want to do." I appreciate his boldness. He's just firing all those people that, number one, don't go to work.
Yeah.
I think only 6% of the federal workforce goes to work. He gets rid of those people. All the lawyers involved in the Department of Justice that have been attacking him, he gets rid of them. All those CIA and FBI people who signed a document saying that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, knowing it was a flat-footed lie,
Yeah.
he gets rid of them. I tell you what, I just appreciate it. And all of his executive actions, I mean, over 100 of them, so many executive actions, and that's really great. So I'm really appreciative of it. So I really am thankful.
It feels weird, but nice that we finally have a government that is working for us and not against us.
That's right. You know what I heard on Fox News, Jessica Tarlov, this liberal Democrat, saying on the Five, she said, well, Trump is having a power grab. I thought, you know what? All he's done is sign executive orders, which actually makes a functionary or is a function of his own executive department.
Yeah.
He's not controlling the legislative branch. He's not controlling the judicial branch. He's only doing what all presidents have done, executive actions in the executive branch. And of course, that's how they've set it up. So if they don't like it, change the law.
Well, you know what? At this point, and because of what we have gone through in this country with the Biden administration, the Barack administration, if he up for a power grab and this power grab is working for America in the way it is now, that's fine. Let him grab.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't believe it's a power grab anyway.
It's not.
Okay, think about this. How can it possibly be to scale back government, that being a power grab, for
Right.
making a bigger government?
Yeah.
That doesn't even match in first grade math. I mean, you're scaling back. DOGE, for example, Department of Government Efficiency, by Elon Musk. They're going to cut back on what we have had pressed upon us, cut back on the regulatory agencies. That's not a power grab. That is empowering the people. And I appreciate it.
I remember when I was younger, in my 20s, I tried to get a government job because my friends, they all had government jobs.
Yeah.
And in those jobs, they didn't really, excuse me, they didn't really have to do anything.
No.
They could be lazy. They could show up to work or not, even back then, or not show up. And yet they made good money. And I used to wonder, but I can never pass the civil service test. I'm so glad that he's getting rid of all those people that they don't need in government. It's just a waste of money and time.
One of the things he's talked about is getting rid of the Department of Education, which should not be a federal program anyway. I've been in education most of my adult life, and I have seen, of course, it's a government bureaucracy. They give you so much money per every school district and say, well, you don't spend it, then we're going to lose that money for next year, so spend it. No. And so everybody, all the teachers are running around trying to, okay, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. You may not need anything. I'll buy 500 notebooks. You don't need, but, they just spend it just because the government doles it out. But that's what happens when you get government bureaucracy, and that's the way it is across the board.
Amazing. Speaking of education, they're talking about school choice again. And it sounds like Trump may be for school choice. What do you think about that?
Well, I think okay, number one, I think that's great. However, I would like to add this rider on it, and that is that God gave us the freedom to choose anyway.
Yeah.
I don't need a grant from the government to choose how I'm going to educate my children.
Yeah.
I appreciate the drive in that direction, but at the same time, I don't want the federal government with their fingers in all of my educational pursuits with my children or grandchildren. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So frequently what happens if I'm in now a private school at Wichita Christian, but frequently, we have to follow some of the regulatory guidelines that the state, coming from the federal government, puts into place regarding testing and so forth. They still have the regulatory fingers all over everything.
Right. Oh, okay. And do you understand the birthright issue? My small understanding of it is that the birthright issue was for slaves at the time, for them to become citizens. Their children and others can become citizens. And now they're trying to make birthright be for illegal alien with children that have children here and all that crap. What is your understanding of birthrights, and what should be birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment, and what should be done about that?
You know what, Jesse, that is a great question, and that is really getting right to the heart of the matter. So okay, you're correct, and my understanding is limited as is yours regarding the Constitution, but I do know, just as you know, the 13th Amendment freed the slaves, and the 14th Amendment, they found out the 13th Amendment was not sufficient because some of the states would forbid slaves to come into towns, for example, except in a position of being a menial servant, or they would forbid blacks from doing thus and so, even though the 13th Amendment got rid of slavery. So now they found out, okay, that wasn't sufficient to give the full citizenship to the slaves. So they passed the 14th Amendment, speaking about, okay, and at the same time, it gave the slaves citizenship not only in the state in which he or she resides, but also in the federal government. And that person is now under the jurisdiction of the state and the federal government, and is to enjoy all of the privileges of that citizenship. And so that's what it was for. So it tells us that those who are in the jurisdiction thereof, that is in the state, they enjoy all the privileges that a citizen of that state would enjoy of the federal government as well. That was what it was designed for. I want to make this point, Jesse. If original intent is not followed, then you make the Constitution whatever you want it to make. Yeah. Just for example, the First Amendment, it was to forbid the federal government from establishing a national religion. It did not forbid a state from having a state religion. It did not forbid speaking about religion in schools. It did not forbid you from speaking about the Bible in public places. It forbade the federal government from establishing a national religion. But we have taken that to an extreme because we have not paid attention to the original intent. We say, well, that means that you can't have any mention of God in the public square. That has nothing to do with the First Amendment. So if you're going to just twist the language, what would it be, Jesse, if you have a contract? Let's say that your father has passed away and has left you in his will all these goods and monies and so forth, and here's the legal contract. If you can get into that contract and other people and your family members can twist the meanings of those words and make them say what he did not intend for them to mean, then you don't really have a contract at all. Yeah. The same thing regarding the Fourth Amendment. We are the only nation of which I'm aware that allows people who have come here, that are not citizens, to be born here, and then all of a sudden their whole family becomes a citizen of this country. That is absolutely absurd. Yeah. But you know what? That's what the Democrats want. They want that. They want us to have open gates, and that's one of the ways they open the gates for our country, the twisting of the 14th Amendment. So you're correct. It is simply to establish that former slaves are citizens under the jurisdiction of the state and the federal government in which they reside. Had nothing to do with people who are coming here illegally.
And it seems as though it's going to end up in the hands of the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court.
Right.
Do you think they're smart enough to make the right decisions?
You know what? I don't believe it's a matter of smarts. I believe it's a matter of politics. So I believe that, in my understanding and my thinking is that those liberal justices are going to say, no, it says this, and therefore not paying attention. The people who drafted the amendment, the people who wrote it, told us what it meant. But that they don't care about that. Yeah. They don't care about the original intent. All they want to do is open the floodgates for everybody to be here and this country to have people here who are not citizens and be able to bring anybody in and have a birth here in the United States. So that's what happens. They cross the border illegally, have a child, and then all of a sudden, okay, that is absurd. And that is not what the 14th Amendment is about. So I think it's a matter of politics, and that's how they're going to, some of them are going to try to go. I don't know what they're all going to say. Some of them have surprised me with their weakness, but that's the original intent of the Constitution. That's the important thing. So we need to, I think the 14th Amendment is important, but at the same time, there's troubles there, I think.
Are there more conservative on the Supreme Court or liberals?
Well, in my understanding, I think they're probably more conservatives. That's the liberals would say they're more conservatives, but some of them I think are a little bit soft. So one of the justices, of course, helped Obama get Obamacare in there, you know, and just like, and he even rewrote the statutes regarding it, helping him out. So I thought, well, that's, you know, so I thought, okay, they're conservative, but how conservative are they if they're going to help Obamacare get in place? By the way, where in the Constitution does it enable the federal government to get health care for everybody in the United States? That's not even a constitutional prerogative, but they allowed that. So I think that was Justice Roberts. But at any rate, so I do worry about the entire issue, but I think Trump is right, and I appreciate him taking this on.
Now that the Great White Hope is back, let me just ask. So Justice Roberts, is he more, he's supposed to be conservative or liberal?
Well, I guess it depends upon who you talk to, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one who helped Obamacare get over the line. So that being the case, I think, how blatantly unconstitutional is Obamacare? How unconstitutional is it? But he helped it get over the line. So, you know what? I can read the Constitution too. Thomas Jefferson said, look here, he said, the Constitution was written for the common man. You don't need a pack of lawyers to tell you what it means. You can understand it, and we can understand that the Constitution forbade the federal government from doing everything that is not explicitly spoken of in Article 1, Section 8, but they have gone way beyond that. We have a welfare state right now in the United States. By the way, back to the immigration issue, you cannot have a welfare state and open borders at the same time and expect to have a country.
Right.
You can't do that.
What a mess.
What a mess.
So I got to ask, now that the Great White Hope is back, will you run for office again?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so. You know what? We have some good representatives here, and but I don't. You know what? I'm busy in what I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to take that on again.
So
that you have to kind of put your life on hold.
Yeah, you do.
And everything becomes a stop.
Yeah.
And then you'll go campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. As you know, we've been having some major fires here in LA.
I saw that.
Yeah, I appreciate you checking on it. We're all fine so far.
Yeah.
A friend of mine and his wife lost their home there up in that area there somewhere. But some people are saying that the fires in California are a sign of the end times. What do you say to that?
I think that's baloney. There's nothing in the Bible that tells us that at all. Where in the Bible would they go to show that fires in California or fires anywhere today has anything to do with Jesus coming back?
Yeah.
You know what? There's no passage in the Bible at all about that. That has nothing to do with the biblical account of Christ coming back. He said he doesn't even know the hour of the day.
Right.
Matthew 24, verse 36. It's just that, Yeah, that's just people hyperventilating on, what they've heard.
Yes. I have to tell you, Bill, at one time I thought California was never going to stop burning. It was a mess. It just burned and burned, and days would come and go. It was still burning.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't find water to put it out in some cases, and it's a real mess. It shows that the Democrats, because they've been running California for a long time now, they have not done anything to protect the people. They're not working for the people at all, and this exposed the whole deal about that.
You know what? I've seen that. So the environmental lobby, which has been strong in California and strong in Colorado, have refused the cleaning out of the forests, the undergrowth, the underbrush. You know what? When I would go elk hunt in Colorado, and actually I was just elk hiking because I didn't get to kill an elk, but I just actually was up there with my bow and arrow hiking in the woods. But you know what? I could not even hike through the forests of the mountains of Colorado, hardly, because the deadfall was so tremendous. And it was disallowed that they could cut anything out except with a handsaw here and there over a trail. The deadfall, the undergrowth, the underbrush was so tremendous. It's all a tinderbox. I thought at that time, that was 10 years ago, I thought, if a fire catches here in the mountains, if we were in the Gore National Forest, I thought if the fire catches here, it's going to go up like a matchbox. And that's exactly what's happened in California.
Yes.
The environmentalists have refused to allow the cleaning out of forests. And that's the big thing. Plus the blocking of the water coming down into Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They've emptied so much water into the Pacific Ocean. It's ridiculous.
How could the government allow a group of people, such as the so-called environmentalist people, how can they let them do this to the state? I don't get that. They're like, at some point they said, no, we got to cut the grass. We got to, we got to safe burn, slow burn, or whatever they call it. We got to have water in the state. We're not going to let you do this. Why don't, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, why don't they say no to these people?
Well, I just, I don't know why necessarily, except they're just too weak to do it, I guess. They're just not strong enough to stand up and say, look here, we are given, and I'll tell you what, it goes back to the Bible as well. Genesis chapter 1, man is to manage the forest, man is to manage the resources of the earth.
Yeah.
That was given to us in Genesis 1:28. So nevertheless, because we have rejected the biblical understanding of man taking care of the earth and its resources, we have absolutely put this environmental lobby and everything about it above man. And so that's the leftist, that's the way they control people. As a matter of fact, even during Clinton's period, they were trying to push people. Well, just for example, in the state of Oregon, in the city of Portland, they have such restrictive laws about where you can and cannot build. It's so onerous, it's so overburdening that they crowd everybody in. They want everybody to live on top of each other and just leave all the land alone. At the same time, they want everybody in the world to come across our border. They're just going to stack us up. So, you know what? They don't even have the right, according to the Constitution, to own 75% of the West, but they do. The federal government owns it. They don't. Why? How do they own it? Because they did not give up the forests and the land to the states normally when the Constitution or when states came into the Constitution, or states came into the Union. So it's amazing. It's been a long time.
Bill, because of time, we're about to run out of time here. Tell the folks how to reach you, your work, and whatever you want to give out there. Yeah,
thank you, Jesse. Well, it's Patriotic Pulpit, and that's found on YouTube. It's found on the Spotify app. It's found also on the Amazon Music app. And then I have Bible Studies with Bill Lockwood, and that is what I preach in the pulpit of the Churches of Christ in Iowa Park. I'm a member of the Church of Christ, simply New Testament Christianity, going back to the New Testament, restoring what we have in the New Testament. That's what we're about. And so I preach those lessons, and those are on YouTube also. So Bible Studies with Bill Lockwood. And I have a series coming up beginning next month. That is this coming Sunday, Creation versus Evolution. Evolution of course, has had a stranglehold on our educational system and the elite of America. But what does the Bible teach regarding creation and answering the evolutionist as well as the theistic evolutionist? So anyway, you can find all of that on those particular websites.
Amazing. Nice. Last question. The over in Israel, they had a quote-unquote ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, and they're supposed to be exchanging prisoners or whatever they call them. And in Israel, Israel is giving 100 something men back to Hamas, while Hamas give 1 or 2 women. Does that seem like it's an even deal?
No, I don't think so. You know what? And maybe they'll come to their knees more when we quit sending condoms over there. Because that's what we're doing.
I heard about that. Send it over to Hamas over there.
Yeah, and they're making balloons out of them, and they're destructive balloons where they have explosives on them, and they float them. Maybe they'll come to their knees when we quit giving them money and stuff like that. Yeah. And condoms.
You mentioned how God wants us to take care of the earth, to make things work and take care of it. And I was just thinking the other day, Bill, that mankind has done an awful job on the earth. I mean, wars and rumors of wars and abortions and killing one another, hating one another, just no love. The earth is all messed up because mankind has not done what God asked to do.
Right. Well, that's correct. I mean, God has given man the ability, the authority at the same time to be a caretaker of the earth and all of its resources, according to Genesis chapter 1, verses 28 through 30. Yeah. And that we have not really paid attention to. So at the same time, it does give us the ability, and we should be able to, for example, tap into the oil and the petroleum resources that we have in America. But the leftist lobby doesn't want us to do that. They want to control it, and they want to bring us to our knees instead of Hamas.
Amazing. So one last thing, Bill. So Trump is bringing in a lot of females to help him, tussle and all the women. I don't believe that women, I don't care if they're conservative or Republican or liberal or Democrat or whatever they may be. Yeah. Women were not created to lead, but to follow, to help out. But where am I wrong?
Well, I don't think that you're wrong, really. You know what? So in 1 Timothy chapter 2, as well as in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, we have passages that tell the woman her particular role. And those passages are very simple, that she is to be in submission to the man. Yeah. It is very difficult for me to understand how, for example, a woman can be the head of the Coast Guard and how she can command the respect of strong men, except for the fact that it's politically correct to do so. So the Bible does give man the leadership role. And I tell you what, the first place that needs to be cleaned up is the churches. The churches have... We saw Trump sitting there listening to an Episcopal priest, so-called, a woman who was giving him a lecture on how many sexes there were and that kind of thing. I thought, this is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So the churches need to clean up their act first. All these women preachers and people filling the pulpits, the Bible disallows it. And I believe that it goes across the board, as well. So I believe that's true.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I thought I need a healing.
well, there's another passage too. It's 1 Corinthians 11. So 1 Corinthians 11, 1 Timothy 2 puts the woman in the submissive role and tells us the woman is not to be leading in these cases, the worship services, leading in prayer, leading in song services, leading in the pulpit, teaching men. She is to be learning in quietness and in all submission. If she has any question, let her ask her husband at home.
Right.
That's what the passage says.
Yeah. What a mess, Bill. Yeah. Happy New Year, man. Thank you so much.
You too, Jesse. You know we love you, Jesse.
Love you too, and thank you so much. Say hi to the wife for me and the family, and we'll have you back on soon, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it anytime.
Okay. Take care, Bill. Bill Lockwood. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Quick break. Back in a moment.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You've absolutely changed my life for the positive, and I just want to thank you. I was 29-year-old beta, living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening. I started just being more at peace, and I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better. I've mentioned this before, and it's worth reminding you again and again and again. But do what you want. But I highly recommend that you consider adding gold to your investment profile. You should consider adding gold to your investment profile. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for you. And Goldman Sachs and other major investment firms are predicting positive gold value predictions. So I don't want to hear you say later, oh, I wish I had jumped in on it just when I first heard you mention it. Oh, my God, I wish I had listened. Jump in now while you can. Check out Goldco. And our special for my listeners. Qualified accounts receive a 10% instant match in bonus silver and gold. In bonus silver. A 10% instant match in bonus silver. So go to JesseLovesGold.com. Jesse, Jesse, lovesgold.com, or call 855-644-GOLD. 855-644-GOLD. I want to encourage you to consider adding gold to your investment profile, all right? Amazing. 888-77-JESSE. I want to go to Virginia and talk to first-time caller MADYLYN out of Virginia. MADYLYN, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, my gosh. Good morning, Jesse. I cannot believe I'm actually talking to you, and I am the first caller of the day.
Amazing.
What the?
Well, thanks for calling.
Goodness. Thank you. Well, first of all, I was just going to call just to say good morning, and I love your show, but then I realized I did have something I didn't need to talk to you about. So I only have one black friend. I'm very mixed. And, well, I'm not very mixed. Okay, so my whole family, like there's no black and no white. We're all just mixed with black and white. I did my ancestry, and I can see how it all happened about 300 years ago. So we're all just mixed with black and white.
And so your father black, your mother white, or your mother white? Your father black. How's that?
They're both they're both mixed with black and white. So none of them are either black or white. They're just everybody's a different shade of brown in my family.
So like with you, are you half black, half white?
Well, when I did my ancestry, since my mom is mixed and my dad is also mixed, my ancestry comes out to pretty much 50% European descent and 50% African descent. But there's no whole white or whole black in the
So if I
family.
saw your daddy and your mama, I would see a black man and a white woman, or a black woman and a white man. What would I see?
You would just see two light brown people.
And I wouldn't know what race they are?
No, you might think they're Hispanic or Native American.
Oh. Wow.
It's weird.
So you don't know if you're white or black?
Well, I don't feel like I'm either. I mean, I know I'm considered black, so I.
Oh, so you're black. If I saw you, I would see a black woman, or a light skinned black woman.
A lot of people think I am Hispanic because I'm in Virginia, and there's a lot of Hispanic people here, so they assume I'm Hispanic and I speak Spanish, which I do not.
And your question for me is what?
Okay, so I have a friend, and we went to eat the other day, and the conversation started where, you know, she was really upset about what's going on in the country, and before she got too far in the conversation, I just said, well, I just want you to know, and I don't know, my son said I shouldn't have said this, but I said, I said, well, before you go any further, I just wanted you to know that I did vote for Trump.
Come back close to your phone, MADYLYN.
Okay.
Okay.
Better?
Yes.
She said, well, she was talking about how bad everything was going right now in the country. And I said, well, before you go any further, I just wanted you to know that I did vote for Trump. And as soon as I said that, I could see everything in her, like she looked really upset. And she started like fidgeting around, and I was like, do you want me to stay? Do you still want to eat? Like, what? She just started talking about all the wrong things that he's been doing, and I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about politics at all, especially since we're on opposite ends of our beliefs. I'm definitely not a liberal. I feel like I was like a moderate a few years ago, but after everything I've seen, and I am a public school teacher, so after I've seen like everything that's been going on in education and in my town, I felt more going towards being a conservative. And it's not that I like Trump at all, but I did vote for him because I thought he had the better ideas for the country. So I kind of feel like I'm going to write her off as a friend because I don't feel like, for one, I don't feel like she's going to respect me for my voting. And I just wanted to see what you thought about this. If she wants to get back together.
Has she said she doesn't want to be friends with you anymore?
No, she has not said that.
And have you spoken to her since that incident?
No, we had lunch, and then we never spoke again.
Oh, okay. And so you want to know, your question for me is what?
Do you think it would be a good idea to be friends, have a social relationship with people that you don't? I don't know if it's the right thing to even want to be friends.
And so your question for me is what?
Would you be friends with someone that had a different, that thought that Trump was the devil and he's going to put black people, set them back hundreds of years?
Is she black?
Yeah, she's black.
She's black.
She's black.
I mean, in your situation right now, it sounds like you don't need to make that decision at this point. I would just go on with my life. And if she want to play, you play. If she doesn't, don't. Because I have family members and people I associate with, some people that don't like Donald Trump at all. I even have a cousin that I grew up with, and we're like brothers. We grew up right like brothers. And he doesn't like Trump at all. Zero. But yeah, you know, he want to think that way, that's fine. And he know how I think about the Great White Hope. And so if he want to play, that's fine. If he doesn't, fine. I wouldn't worry about it. I'll just live my life and let life happen by itself.
I just wanted a good excuse to call you, Jesse.
Amazing.
That's all.
Well, no, don't hold it against her. Don't be angry at her. And if she want to play, fine. If she doesn't, fine. You move on with your life.
And I am a public school teacher, so everybody hates Trump. I really feel like I'm just like so. I'm just really nervous. I'm thinking about moving back to West Virginia. Maybe West Virginia is still a little more.
Well, don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. Fear is God has not given you a spirit of fear, so fear is not real. But just live your life and be you. And let the world go to hell in a handbasket.
Thank you, Jesse. Love you so much.
I love you too, and call me again, all right?
I will.
Amazing.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now. Nice. Tay is the first-time caller out of Asia. Heard around the world by everybody and they mama if you're black. Everybody and their mama if you're white. Tay, all the way from Asia. Welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Tay. Tay. You might be on mute, Tay. They have mute in Asia. Tay, hold on. Tay.
Hello?
Turn your phone, your radio off or something.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Oh,
beta.
Don't be a beta.
Yeah, what's up? All right, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, you know, like how you always like, I kind of already know, but yeah, I just need like clarification, like. So you know like how you say how we supposed to speak the kingdom, right? And everything has to be added?
Yes.
And we're not supposed to look for a woman, correct?
100% no. Don't look for anything.
Right.
Because if you look, you're going to always find the wrong one.
So can you explain also, like, when God said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, doesn't find mean like some sort of search or some sort of quest?
No, he means the one that he gives to you. Because the one that he gives to you, she's already working on herself. She's overcoming her hell. She love being under your control, and she would love being a woman and a wife and a mother. There would be no war at all. She would not fight with you. She would not argue with you. She would be in her perfect position in life, and you would have no problem with her. The marriage will work on its own without your help or her help.
Okay. It sounds good, man, because, like, for a while, I was just, because I feel like I'm in a good place in life right now, but I just always, like, felt like that I was missing something, and I felt like that's what I needed. But when I came across you, you just shifted my whole perspective, and, I mean, I would say I got more peace now because I'm not really looking for it no more, but them thoughts still come in from time to time.
Yeah, when those thoughts come.
And I know what you say about them thoughts, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people have gotten married. So many people got married because they believed a thought. And the thought set them up, and they get married, and hell comes, and then they go back into thoughts, do this and do that, and it just makes it worse. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
Yeah, I'm just laughing because, like, it just makes sense. Cause look, for a long time, right, before I came across you, like I've been working on myself a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But just all thoughts or all eyes about all things, it was like new to me, and it makes sense because like I would just like find my mind just thinking a lot, you know. And so now, since when I came across you, I learned to just be still more in the presence of God, and I say I've been having more peace for sure.
Well, if you stay with it, Tay, you have not seen anything yet. I promise you, God will give you a complete, clear mind. You will live your life without thinking at all, and you will use the right kind of thought to, you know, to go to work, do your job, make what you want for dinner and stuff like that. But you will have a clear mind, and you will have a life without thinking. You will only live, and you will live without thinking. God will do that for you if you practice staying present.
Okay, so like, and how long do you think it would take me to be able to get to that point?
Don't even ask that or think that way. That's Satan and you telling you that. How long will it take? How long will it? You do it until you commit to a lifetime of working on you. You'll be fine. Don't worry about how difficult it gets or how long it takes. That's another setup from evil. Those are more thoughts. And it's not even you thinking that. It's the false self thinking that. So don't worry about that. He who endures until the end, you will get the prize. Amazing.
So like when them thoughts, right? Amazing. So like when them thoughts come, right, it usually be like feelings attached to them thoughts.
Yeah.
And I know you always be talking about the ego and stuff, and I've been doing a lot of research on the ego, and because I know them thoughts is not really mine. So like I was gonna say, well, how do I get to the point to where I have no thinking at all? But you just said to keep working on myself. But can you really kill the ego though? Can you actually kill it? You can't really kill it, can you?
You can't, but the Father will, because there are spirits that made a home in your mind and emotions. That's why emotions are evil. There's never, ever, 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 but never a reason to be emotional. And so the thoughts are not yours. The emotions are not yours. You are not your body. And so if you don't have the thoughts, you're not going to have the emotions. So as the thoughts are wiping or disappearing, the emotion will too. You cannot have good or bad emotions unless you have so-called good or bad thoughts.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you say I can't kill the ego, but our Father can. That makes sense because I was like, how are we gonna kill our ego and we living in the flesh? Because as long as we like in the body, right, the ego gonna still be alive, right? Because if the ego is completely killed,
that's not true.
That means
the ego will be completely destroyed because it's spirits that made a home in your mind. It's in the thoughts, and all thoughts are lying. And God is going to destroy those spirits from your thought, which are evil, by taking them away from you. They will no longer live in your mind, and your body has nothing to do with it. I hear a lot of Christians say, well, I ain't gonna never be the way because I'm human. It has nothing to do with that. It's all spiritual.
Yeah.
And it's in your mind. And if you notice, the more aware that you become of those thoughts, you're feeling better and better. And only because you are becoming aware of those thoughts. And it's God who is shining the light on the darkness. The darkness are the thoughts. And in the light, God is destroying the darkness. They're going to have to leave you and go make a home in somebody else because they live in human beings. That's why human beings are so wicked.
Yeah.
So they will
that
complete.
The ego really couldn't be.
So what? What were you
going to say?
What were you about to say? You thought the ego what?
No, I was going to say I thought the ego like recently, you know, I've just been asking myself questions about the ego, and I just thought that the ego really couldn't be like all the way killed, like as long as I'm living in the body. But you just explained it to me.
Right. No, that's another lie from the thoughts. The ego has to
like,
leave.
Sometimes, right, like
Go ahead.
The ego has to leave.
Yeah. It has to leave your body because it's going to leave your mind. It's the thoughts. Were for the thought, you will have no ego at all. Ego is dark spirits that made a home in you, and you identify with those spirits all your life thinking that they were you. If you were able to see right now that you're not your thoughts and that all thoughts are lies, you could be free right now and never have to live that way again. But there's a part of you that still believe that you're your thoughts. Who will I be if I don't think? Who will I be if I'm not my thought? And because you think that, that's why it's still a little hard for you to overcome it. But if you were to stop identifying with them right now, you could be 100% free. You will have perfect peace.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I mean, because look, like, I'm very self-aware. I be really self-aware, like, 24/7.
Nice.
Like, before I came across you, I used to, like, I always do the silent prayer, but I never really called it a silent prayer. But when I wake up in the morning, like, I meditate, I sit in silence for about 10 minutes and before I go to sleep. So I never really, you know, it's basically just silent prayer. You know, I just be aware of the thoughts, you know, I just let them pass, just don't judge with them, just be aware and let them pass and come through. So I really been doing it a while, but I would say, like, when I notice the thoughts, right, it's like the ego, it's like when I don't entertain the thoughts, it's like the ego, like, wants to find something to complain about.
Yes.
It's like Satan don't want me to be quiet, and it's weird because it's like my whole life I've been like living through my imagination, through my thoughts, and when I start to change it up, it's like the thoughts come even more. But I've been learning. And it's because it's like Satan be trying to tempt me with any thought, and I know it's not my thought, so I know I'm having progress. But it's like Satan be mad because it be so many thoughts coming through, like just about anything that don't matter. And if it's not a practical thought, I don't trust it. But I mean, I could definitely see like what you mean by we evil, because I say I'm a great person, but there's still a part of me that's evil because I can tell because of thoughts, because if I try to get thrills from like people or whatever, like that's evil, you know.
It
and
is.
You got to have a lot of wisdom to understand that. Yeah, and so when I'm listening to you, I'm just like, like I really got to implement this because the goal is to be free.
Yes.
And that's what I'm trying to work on, man.
Well, you're on the way. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. I don't care if the whole world disagrees with you, if the whole world turn against you. You don't get angry at them, wish them well, let them go their way, and you stay with it. You stay with it, man. You haven't seen anything yet. And you're right about those thoughts. They have a fit when you become aware of them. They have a hissy fit. They don't like awareness at all.
Yeah, it's just and I kind of be uncomfortable too when I like.
Jay, hold on, everybody. Hold on.
Entertain the thought.
Hold on, Jay. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. Hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. Hold on, Jay. I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Happy Chinese New Year. It's Chinese New Year today, or Lunar New Year if you want to be anti-China centric. And federal funding drama, it's happening. It's crazy. But our greatest president is taking us on a wild and righteous ride. And the Gulf of America and Mount McKinley, are they going to appear on Google Maps? Is that true? That's exciting. And immigration raids, drama, of course. And other mess going on in the world, and some good things. This is the end of hour one of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025 AD. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, Not Fake News, and JLP will be right back to your calls and some great stories. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, claims that Asian communities around the world are ringing in what they call Lunar New Year. That's the Moon New Year. And the beginning of the Year of the Snake. Morning Brew says wooden snake specifically, to be precise. And some of those people who were born in the Year of the Snake, Gandhi, I don't think he's alive anymore. Bob Dylan's a snake, and so is Taylor Swift, 1989, of course. What a mess. Shout out. A 15-day festival, millions, maybe even billions, will take part in cherished traditions, and luck-enhancing activities, which I disavow, all superstition. Anyway, federal funding. President Donald J. Trump's plan to freeze all federal aid, supposedly all federal aid, has run into its first challenge with a U.S. district so-called judge temporarily blocking the order. The white on the inside White House Budget Office ordered the freeze on federal grants and loans to target Democrat initiatives that address immigration, foreign aid, climate, DEI, gender misidentity, and other mess, I guess. Or maybe that's all the mess, according to a memo obtained by Commie Nonsense Network. The order could have potentially impacted hundreds of billions of dollars in government spending and halted public programs that affect millions of so-called Americans. Fine. It also marked the latest move by our greatest president's administration, Trump, to exert control over federal funding and cut that mess off, even that which was already allocated by evil, lame-o Congress. And Google Maps. Google is complying with President Trump's executive action that renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Soon the name change will appear on Google Maps, so says CNN. Google will also change the name of that Mount Denali, the nation's highest peak, back to Mount McKinley, the right American name. Crooked, evil, lame-o, ridiculous, worst president Barack Obama had renamed the Alaska landmark Mount McKinley to Denali to kiss up to the American Indians or Eskimos or whatever in 2015 as a nod to the region's so-called native population. We're native there now. We're born there, right? Some of us, some people. Both alterations stem from an executive action that Trump signed last week, saying changes honor American greatness, and rightly so. On Tuesday, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, I heard she's not a Christian, largely shrugged off Google's move. She's like, I don't care. No me importa. And suggested that her country would not abide by it. Psh, sucker. You will abide. Anyway, immigration raids. Speaking of Mexico, the Trump administration is aiming for at least 75 arrests daily at each of the 25 ICE field offices nationwide, but hopefully many more. White on the inside White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, based our favorite Jew, one of my top 10 favorite Jewish people, told Commie Nonsense's Jake Tapper, a lame guy, on Tuesday that about the goals And so, they've been directed to make 75 arrests a day, and they're doing much more than that right now, but it's still not enough, according to Tom Homan. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. Manhood hour is coming up in the next hour. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. And my biblical question, are you a memory worshiper? Are you a memory worshiper? Are you? If you're running around you're running from ICE, or you're hiding in a Catholic church from ICE, or you're afraid to go to school because you know you're here illegal, or you're going back, or you leaving here. If you're a criminal and you're illegal, you know you're going. You still can be listening to the show, because I don't know if they turned the Obama phones off or do you still have them. But you still can be listening to the show. Or if you're ICE and you're going after these folks, you could be listening to the show by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate to have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App, all right? And we're going to get to your super chats here in a minute. I want to go back to Asia, and talk to Tay. I had to put him on hold there for a minute. We ran out of time. Tay. Hey, Tay.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay. I do want to, in closing, I want to tell you that you're right. And when you're aware of those thoughts, they have a fit. They do not want you, because they're evil spirits in the mind, and they do not want you to be aware of them. And that's why when you're being still and you're observing them, they are going to have a hissy fit. They're going to yell at you. They're going to scream at you. They're going to cry. They're going to try to make you feel good. They're going to try to make you doubt. They're going to tell you, well, you're never going to understand this. You might as well give up. But whatever they're telling you, just watch them. Don't argue with them. Don't call them you. And they will be taken away from your mind, which means that they will no longer have a home inside of you. The ego will completely die, and you will have life. You'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Man, the thoughts, they be going crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, because like, it's like the more I stay away from them, the more they come.
Yes. And it's been like that all your life, but you just were not able to see them. And now you're able to see them. They don't like it. And they want people, they would rather for you to hoop and holler when you pray. They want you to pray to God. They want you to cry. They want you to beg. They want you to have belief. They want all those things. They want anything except you letting go and totally surrender them to God. They don't want that to happen, so that's why I have. But you stay with it, man. You'll see. It's just gonna be clearer and clearer and clearer. You will have perfect peace.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how you said that. Like, we shouldn't really be asking God for nothing, because like we don't even know what we need. And like when we praying to God, asking Him for stuff, we praying to the devil, because if we truly need something, He gonna provide it to us.
He tell you, don't take any thought about what you want, what you need. Don't take any thought about yesterday or tomorrow. Don't think about those things. I got you. You'll be fine, and you will, because you're home with the Father. When you're home with the Father will take care of you. So just stay with it, all right?
Yeah, one quick question. So, like, the only prayer that I really only need to pray is the Lord's Prayer, right?
Well, when you're doing the silent prayer, you are praying the Lord's Prayer. You're letting His will be done.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you are praying the Lord's Prayer when you be still and know.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense, because, like you said, the Holy Spirit will come in and see. So I just been quiet a lot and just letting the Holy Spirit pray on my behalf and just
absolutely
observing me, just listening.
That's all you need to do. Amazing.
Amazing. I'm gonna make sure I call you again.
All right, call me again, but I wish you well.
I appreciate you.
All right. Amazing. 888-775-3773. So the Great White Hope is banning transgenders from the military. Amazing, huh? The military will be strong. He even he's going to build a dome like they have over there in Israel. Excuse me, like they have in Israel. He's building a dome. NPR is reporting President Trump issued an executive order late on Monday night to ban transgender troops from serving openly in the military. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Watch this from Fox News.
Good morning, and standing here, it feels like it's been more than a week and a day since President Trump was sworn in, because so far, and we've got a graphic here, he signed 38 executive orders, and he signed them in the Oval Office and at an arena and at his resort in Florida. The latest ones came last night, and what they do is reinstate troops who refused the COVID vaccine, about 8,000 people, develops an American Iron Dome missile defense system like what they have in Israel, formulate a new policy on transgender troops. That is up to Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, to figure out how that's going to work, and then ban DEI initiatives in the military.
I'll be signing 4 new executive orders. First is that I'm directing our new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, he's what we need, to immediately begin the construction of a state-of-the-art Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will be able to protect Americans. You see that with Israel. We're out of 319 rockets. They knocked down just about every one of them. So I think the United States is entitled to that, and everything will be made right here in the USA, 100%.
Amazing. Isn't it amazing he's taking care of home first? Remember when we were begging Joe Biden, Joe, no, take care of home first, Joe. Close the borders, Joe. Criminals coming in and they're killing us, Joe. They're bringing drugs. No, we're not going to do anything about that. We're going to send your money over to that country that's fighting with Israel. What's that country?
Iran.
No.
Oh.
That's fighting with Israel.
Gaza?
I mean, with Putin.
Oh, Ukraine.
No, we're going to send the money over to Ukraine. But Joe, no, we need help here. Joe, oil prices going up. No, that's fine. We're going to stop drilling. No more drilling. We're going to make it difficult for drilling. But, Joe, why not taking care of home first? It's like you're taking care of somebody else's family before you take care of your own family. He wouldn't even listen. It didn't matter. Now you have a president and an administration right now, the new one that he has, is working for you so far and not against you. Doesn't that feel nice? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Would you rather have a father like Donald Trump or Al Sharpton? They're getting rid of DEI, and for those who don't know, that's affirmative action. And it's based on color. It's nothing to do with qualification at all. Matter of fact, the less qualification you have, they want you more. If you're qualified, they're going to throw you out the military. They're going to take your jobs away from you and everything. And so Donald Trump is saying, hey, it's about, are you qualified? Al Sharpton is saying, no, you don't be qualified because if you find out you can do it yourself, I can't control you. I want you to listen to me. I'm Al Sharpton, and I ain't got sense enough to do anything else except make you listen to me. And so while Donald Trump is getting rid of DEI, there are companies like Costco, ALDI, Microsoft, Aldi and Microsoft, they're trying to hold on to their little DEI program. So Al Sharpton is so happy about that because he knows as long as they hold on to that, there are these blacks who are unwilling to think and do for themselves, they're gonna wanna hold on to Al Sharpton because they think they're getting something for nothing. So according to 13 News now, some major companies are pushing back against anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion, better known as DEI policy. Watch this from 13 News now.
So right now, some major companies are pushing back against anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. This comes as President Donald Trump signed an executive order eliminating federal DEI initiatives. We start with Costco's, which their board of directors voted unanimously against a proposal to scale back its practices, saying their commitment to respect and inclusion is appropriate and necessary. Now, ultimately, this decision will come down to the company's shareholders, who are expected to take action today. Meanwhile, tech giant Microsoft and grocery chain Aldi are also holding firm on their DEI policies, an Aldi spokesperson emphasizing the importance of an inclusive culture for all employees and customers. But there are other companies, including Walmart, McDonald's, Amazon, and Meta. They've all said that they're rolling back their diversity goals since the months following the 2024 election.
Isn't it amazing? I want you to smoke on this. You have companies like these companies who really believe that you're not, because you're black, you're not capable. So we're going to have a program for you, like you're an animal or something. We're going to have a program for you. We know you're not capable of rising to the occasion, so we're going to make it easy for you. And then for the white people, we know they can do it. We're not going to let them in because we know they qualify, they can do it. And the people, the blacks say, okay, you're right, we're dummies. We're not able to do it. So we're going to support you because you're going to take us in knowing that we're not qualified. You don't expect us to be qualified, and you know we can do it. Isn't that amazing? Think about that. According to the New York Post, 98% of Costco shareholders rejected a proposal on Thursday, calling on the wholesale to reevaluate risk posed by its DEI practice. DEI doesn't work, folks. You have people who are not qualified. They're not smart. They can't do it. They're lazy. They don't want to have to do it. And you have bad service in America. But Al Sharpton loving the fact that they have this DEI stuff because he can represent the people. And the people follow him. New York Post is reporting that Al Sharpton and about 100 of his followers descended on an East Harlem Costco on Saturday in support of the company's commitment to controversial diversity, equity, and inclusion. So Al Sharpton gave attendees, according to a report, $25 gift card to use at the boycott event. Watch this from Fox 5.
Hey there, author. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today. He bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
Now, Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today, we are calling a buy-in.
Isn't that like pitiful? In 2025, the blacks are still speaking out loud, telling you that they're not qualified. They can't do it. And Al Sharpton gave them a $25 gift card, according to the report. And they went to the store. Did they go because they wanted to follow Al Sharpton, or they went because of a $25 gift? Al Sharpton paid them to go. Why did they really go? And they're standing there looking dumb and stupid. Think about that. Here's a little bit more about Al Sharpton in Costco. This is from X and the New York Post. Look at the black.
I'm going to fundraise, yes.
You already did.
I'm going to fundraise. Yes, I am.
Look,
yes, I am. I'm going to fundraise. Yes, you caught me. Yes.
I know I got that.
What is that? That's my girl.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Let's go get some help.
See it?
A dog that I can punch Trump. Do you have a Trump dog?
A Trump what? Dog?
A Trump doll.
A Trump doll that you can punch?
Amazing, huh? And you want these people running your country? Or do you really want them running your country? All they want are freebies. They're all happy because he gave them $25. So he spent $2,500 to give $25 each to 100 people in a huge store like Costco. I wonder, will they go back now that they spent the $25? Are they going back to Costco? What's wrong with the blacks? It wasn't like this. We played a video for you the other day from 1968 where black people said, no, we don't need the white man to do this for us. We don't need that. The black man wants his wife to stay home with the children just like any other man. He doesn't want his wife punching in on a time clock like him and when they have children. But now, what a mess, huh? I'm glad Donald Trump is there and he appeared to be bringing in qualified people that will make America great again. 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. Let me go to Colorado and talk to ARDENE. ARDENE, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, ARDENE.
Comment on you with what you were referring to when you're thinking of spouse, a marriage partner. I don't think you got it. You're not spot on there at all. You're not. I've been married basically about 45 years until my husband passed away from old age. I'm remarried.
How old are you now?
And 73.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And when you get into marriage, you make a proposal to a promise to the person and to God that through thick and thin, rich or poor, you're going to stick by this person, this man, woman, whatever. And you have to. You made a promise to God. That's it. Over and done with.
ARDENE, are you on a speaker or something?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Hold on. Let me let Derek talk to you about that. Because I'm sure Derek told you not to get on the speaker, and you did. Now it's not coming across well. What the? Let me go to Vicky, a first-time caller out of Canada. Vicky, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Vicky.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi. Are you on a speaker?
I'm trying to get off the speakerphone. Hold on one sec, Jesse.
Hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold and come back to you when you're off. Let me go to CODY out of Boston. I'll come back to you, Vicky. Let's see here. CODY, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Oh, how you doing?
All is well.
So I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about that's been going on in Boston, especially with myself and dealing with the state lately. But I want to bring up something before I get into that. If I can today, I probably won't because it's a lot. But yesterday I had a conversation with somebody about Jesus, and when I was having this conversation about Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Right. So this guy, it didn't start off with me having a conversation with him, going back and forth, just like about Jesus at first. He actually interjected on something he overheard me talking about, and then he started talking about what he believed is Jesus Christ. But then he tried to tell me that he believes in Jesus Christ but doesn't believe in God, and then tried to convince me that somehow you can believe in Jesus Christ himself but not have any attachment himself. And I was like, how does that make any sense? And I don't know if you've ever heard that before. And I mean, I'm sure you've heard of a lot of things, but that was the first time I've ever heard that. And I was like, what does that mean? And I was like, who is he talking to then if it's not Jesus Christ of my God? And then it's like, is he talking to the devil then? Is that right?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. That's a new one.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I was like. That was brand new to me. Yeah, because when he was saying that, I was like, how are you to follow Jesus Christ, but then it not be under my God, our God? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense because it would be the only attachment that it doesn't come out of any other story from the other religions than the only one that comes with Christianity. So it's like, I don't understand where that came from. Yeah, it blew my mind yesterday when I was having a conversation, and he got so upset, and I started calling him the devil. and I could just start hearing it coming out of him. Like, it just, you could see his reaction off of it, of how it was like he is praying to the devil. Like, whatever he thinks is Jesus Christ isn't Jesus Christ. It's obviously the devil. So he's sitting there going back and forth with me, and then I start calling him the devil, and then you could just see him, like, it tearing him apart, because it's like that is what he believes he's going with. But it was too funny to have that go across yesterday. I was like, wow, I can't believe that's what people think. I definitely was like, I need to tell you about that.
Well, make sure you don't intentionally try to upset people with those things, because if you're getting a thrill from it, you're worse than the person that you're trying to get the thrill from. Cool. So just make sure you're not
don't antagonize it.
Yeah, make sure you're not doing it to get a thrill.
Okay. No, and I understand. That's why I was like, I wasn't initially talking to him or trying to get like a reaction out of something. I was actually like essentially talking to myself, but I wasn't trying to get like an audience or anything like that.
You were talking to yourself?
He overheard me. Essentially, yeah. I mean, that's why I tend to talk to myself sometimes, so I just talk out loud, but I think I'm talking with God, essentially, I think I do. But like, when I do that, I think where my connection is.
That's crazy. Don't be talking to yourself. That's insane.
Well, I guess so then. I mean, I won't be doing that then, but I'm just saying, that's why he did overhear me speaking to myself, though, and that's when he interjected into my conversation by himself, and that's why I was just like, then he got himself upset. I mean, again, I hear what you're saying. It is crazy because it's antagonizing, but yeah.
Yeah.
He did cause an issue with me after, and then got really upset, and then had that whole conversation with me about how he said that about Jesus, and that's why I was like, that's odd, because I didn't want him to. I didn't continue to argue with him to.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
To get a side out of it.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I currently am not. I'm still dealing with homelessness, so I've been still dealing with like a lot of hectic. Again, Massachusetts has not been helping me.
Well, make sure you start doing the silent prayer, all right?
I will.
All right, buddy. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Vicky. Vicky, you ready now?
Yes, Jesse, thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, Jesse. I love your show.
Thank you.
I think you're a very wise man in this world, that's for sure.
Amazing.
Jesse, I'm up here in Canada, and it's a mess. Jesse, our government has sold us out, and it's just hateful. I was wondering, my question for you is, we have so much immigration in such a short span of time that it feels like an invasion. How do we deal with this? Like, how does a normal Canadian growing up here watch everything, their culture, everything being destroyed? Just want to know how I deal with that.
By not dealing with it at all. You just work on you, live your life. You are your world, and let the outside world go to hell in a handbasket. You just live in your world, working on you, being aware, and just living your life. You can't do anything about what's happening in the world because human beings are evil, and they have created an evil world. They have not taken care of the world. They have destroyed the world. So don't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do about it.
It says in the Bible to love thy neighbor, to love, I'm having a hard time.
Why don't you drop your
liking
anger?
People. Yeah, okay, good idea.
No, that was a question.
Yeah, I am angry. Yeah.
The question was, why don't you drop your anger?
Okay, how do I do that?
By forgiving your mother and your father.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I'm trying. I'm in the process.
Have you forgiven your mother?
No.
And why not?
I guess it's just a mental block of me, my ego. No.
And and so you heard me say, go and forgive her, right?
Yes.
So,
and I've said it out loud, and I've prayed, and still there's some resentment, I guess.
But have you gone to her yet?
I have.
And what did you say to her when you went to her?
That I forgive you.
And what did she say?
She just kind of blows off, I guess.
She what?
She just kind of acknowledged it and went on to a different subject.
And did you go to your father too?
He's passed away.
Okay, hold on for me, Vicky. Let me take a quick break, all right?
Okay.
All right, hold on. 888-7753-773. Quick break. Back in a moment.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old, and ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you, and I just can't even begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Did you get your Punchies coffee? Good. It's cold in LA this morning. A nice cup of hot, punchy coffee would be amazing. Would be amazing. Ground coffee. I suggest you get it. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. rebuildingtheman.com/store. Get your Punchies coffee, and every dime goes right back to the organization to have a nonprofit. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. So not only are you going to have good coffee with your breakfast, with or without the breakfast, you're also going to be helping us to help others. Wow, two things at once. So you could get it fresh, roasted to order, or whole bean available too. Is available too. All right? Whole bean coffee is available. So go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. And brand new episode of The Fallen State this Friday. The Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Brand new episode. A very interesting conversation with Adam Freeland. Not Freeman, but Freeland. And he is a stand-up comedian and the host of the Adam Freeland Show. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
To be Jewish in America, it's the best it's ever been. I get to be a white guy. It's awesome.
Have you ever met any women who are funny?
My mom was really funny, but the answer is no. No women on earth are funny. It's just black guys and Jews, which is our dynamic, Jesse.
Okay.
Reverend, I feel like I'm doing confession right now.
I got to put you on the hot seat.
I feel like I've been on the hot seat this whole time.
No.
This is Guantanamo Bay. You got me in Abu Ghraib prison, Jesse.
No. Very interesting conversation. This Friday at 12 noon. Well, really at 11 this Friday, right, James?
Right. That's right.
Normally it's at 12 noon.
Not anymore.
But starting this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then the Anchor Baby will be at 12 noon. So we made some adjustment. Anchor Baby at 12 noon Monday through Friday now. Amazing, huh? So check it out. Buy your coffee, watch The Fallen State, and the Anchor Baby Show. You can't go wrong. Amazing! And thank you for your support, too. Support us. We got a lot of work to do. Amazing, huh? I want to go back to Vicky out of Canada. First time caller. Vicky, so you went and forgave your mother and your father?
Yes, I have.
And
I've
so
tried.
are you doing this? When you say you try, if you went and forgave them, you did. Whether they accepted or acknowledged it or whatever, you forgave them, and then God forgave you.
Okay.
And now, are you doing the silent prayer?
I am. Every day.
Okay. Well, you stay with that, and whatever the thoughts are telling you, just know it's not true. When they tell you that you have not forgiven, when they tell you that you're angry, or whatever, don't believe it. Let those thoughts pass so you can stop identifying with it.
Okay. I will, Jesse. Thank you.
All right?
Okay.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. And forget about the illegals and everybody up there. You just live your life.
Yeah, good one. Thank you. I'll do that.
All right. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Is it Ardene that I was talking to? Yep. Or, let me go back to Ardene out of Colorado. Ardene, you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's much that's
Okay.
much better, Ardene.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's a long distance, over 1,000 miles. Yeah, it's a rough one from Colorado. I was going to say, with the when you bring up as far as the marriage, you have to listen. I mean, you have to go into marriage with an understanding that there's seasons within the marriage. There's different things. There's different feelings. When you first get married, you're in it for the looks. You want it bad, and then it goes into some mediocre where you're bored. Yada yada, the 7-year itch, that one. Then you get into male menopause, which is a whole other thing we're dealing with, where you guys get your red trucks and you get your Corvettes. That's a good one.
But men don't have menopause.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Explain all the Corvettes that are being driven around by 50, 60-year-olds. Think about okay, but we have to go on here. Now, you get into different seasons in a marriage. It isn't just one thing that you're going to get into a marriage for. There's a companionship. There's a love. There's a partnership. There's all different things. There's a working together to have children and bring into a family. There's all different parts to a marriage.
But except for having children, all of those reasons that you named are the wrong reasons to get married.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It doesn't
I've
work.
been there, done it. Have you been there, done it?
But
Have you been there, done it?
All those reasons are the wrong reason to get married.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a feeling. It's not a bad reason.
Why do you need companionship?
Everybody, Bill, God made us as tribal.
Why do you need?
Why did God give Adam Eve?
Ardene, why do you need companionship?
Why did God give Eve to Adam?
Ardene, why do you need companionship?
People need companionship.
Why do you need it?
DNA predicts it or dictates it. That's why.
Why do you need it, Ardene?
DNA.
Thank you for your call, Ardene. Let me go to Wayne out of Houston. Wayne, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Good morning. How you doing?
All is well, Wayne.
Good. Just so happy to have you on the earth. The same time I'm on the earth. You've been a big inspiration to me, and just grateful.
Right on. Well, you stay with it, man. It gets better.
Yeah, I've been doing the silent prayer for about 18 months, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good with the Bible. And you were talking about the ego disappearing after a while.
Yes.
And I have a verse to back that up. So when Jesus, after he arose from the dead, right?
Yes.
And he was walking with the disciples, they didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's what he said to them. He said this to them. He said, "Why are you so troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your heart?"
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Why do thoughts arise in your heart? So apparently he was teaching them to do the silent prayer,
Yeah.
and he was expecting that thoughts should no more be arising in their hearts. So that confirms what you just said about the ego eventually dying off.
That's amazing. Amazing, Wayne.
Amazing, yeah, I love it.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because most people, maybe all, but most people don't believe that you have to die from the ego. You're never going to have life until you completely die from the ego, which is the nature of the devil. And God said, in order to have life, you got to give up a false life, which is the ego life. You're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your body, you're none of those things. And until you completely die from that, you're never going to have life.
That's correct. And I've been doing it for 18 months, and I still have that little trace of ego with me. But little by little, it's going away. And as the days go by, I'm praying a lot longer. I'm finding myself in silent prayer during the day, and it's going away, and it's getting better and better. My life is a mess. Stated is so upset with me.
Yeah.
So many things are going wrong, but because of the silent prayer, I'm able to just endure it. No, I shouldn't even say endure it, but I'm able to withstand it without any trauma.
Yes. Well, you stay with it, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Danny says, all right, Jesse and the lads. James, don't stand for Jesse bullying you about your beta back. Take him to court for bullying in the workplace. Laughing face.
Amazing.
This is
Thank you.
Yeah. This is work. It's a work. Never mind. Jamil bought a coffee. Church was again, and as always, so good. It's also so nice seeing what's happening in the U.S. right now with Trump. I even heard him say himself that he feels like there is light over the world now. I agree. Thanks, Jesse and crew.
Right on. Thank you, and I agree. Church was amazing this past Sunday. Check it out at rebuildingtheman.com/church. And Trump has brought light back into the world. Amazing. Thank you.
Gregatron bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, I have some good news for you. You ready? Did you know there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobia-ism, Islamophobia-ism, white supremacy-ism, Allah Akbar-ism, deadbeat dad-ism? Isms, no isms.
And no anti-Semitism either. No ism. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. Amazing. Thank you.
Gregatron says, no such thing as capitalism, socialism, classism, casteism, Marxism.
No ism.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Gregatron bought another coffee. Also, no such thing as flat earth-ism, black Hebrew Israelite-ism, fake moon landing-ism, Jesus being black or white-ism, or Jesus is God-ism. No isms.
No ism. Amazing.
Gabriel bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse. Those sweet potato cookies are so good. They make you want to slap your mama. It's an idea for a cookie to go with the coffee, perhaps. Maybe it works.
Nice.
Do you do global shipping for the coffee or U.S. only? Cheers. Tink.
Amazing.
Call us for the shipping issues.
Yeah.
For shipping out of the United States. I think at the top of JCLeePeterson.shop it says that to call 1-800-411-BOND for international orders. And you can call that free via Skype, even overseas. 1-800-411-2663.
Why don't they just go to rebuildingtheman.com and order it, and they'll let them know, right, if they can ship it overseas or not.
It says to call for international orders on the website.
Oh.
Yep.
And then we ship it from here or something?
That I don't know.
Why are they calling here for an international website?
That's what the website says. Ask your store people.
And why are they doing it, calling here, Omi? Omi said, yeah, that's true.
I think so that we can give them a quote. We manually ship those, he says.
What?
We ship them ourselves overseas.
Why?
Ask him, man. Don't make me asking me. Thank you for your question, Gabriel.
Yeah, it's an amazing question. I don't know. Amazing question. Thank you.
R.H. Hernandez bought 3 coffees. Jesse, I give you 3 coffees, and you give me 100. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Amazing. Thank you. Sound like the Israel deal with the Allahu Abba people.
Lori bought a coffee. Good morning. My biblical question answer. At first I said no about the biblical question.
What?
The biblical question. Lori.
Oh, sorry about that. I was trying to figure out this coffee thing overseas.
He's
here.
looking into it.
Are you a memory worshiper? Are you a memory worshiper?
At first I said no. I stay out of the past. I'm not worshiping memories. And then I found myself lost in a memory this morning. As soon as I make a declaration about myself within a week, I see I'm wrong. Love these questions and love you, Jesse.
Thank you. I love you as well. And stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thank you.
John bought a coffee. We got a new press secretary. She's 27. Does she watch JLP? She just might.
Amazing. Thank you.
She is white, I think.
It's white as snow.
Eng Band.
She even has white people hair.
Yeah. She used to play softball.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What the?
Mildly attractive gal.
Amazing.
Eng
Thank
Band
you.
Art bought a coffee. A few months ago, you said you were speaking to Prager's family. You seen Dennis Prager? Any words on him?
I haven't seen him since his accident, and no word at this point. I don't know.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, Costco and Microsoft is afraid of Al Sharpton, the radical blacks, because they're so afraid of losing something. What do you think about that? One last thing, if a white man said the same thing about punching Obama doll, then the race hustlers would be losing their minds.
That's a very good point. That did not occur to me. Has somebody said, and they're supposed to be a so-called leader, do you have Obama doll here? I want to punch it. And do you think people would be laughing about it and all that? They'll be burning down America. What a double standard, huh? Amazing. Poor black people, don't blame the blacks. They were raised with a silver spoon in their mouths. Amazing. Thank you.
No More Thoughts about our coffee. You should name one of your coffees Cup of Donald because nobody wants a cup of Joe anymore.
That's for sure. Thank you.
MADYLYN is now a monthly member supporter on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk.
Who's that?
MADYLYN, the one who called.
Oh, thank you, MADYLYN.
Hey,
amazing.
Jesse, I forgot to ask if you like animals.
Ask.
Do you have any pets?
No pets.
But do you like animals?
I don't dislike them, but I would not treat them like they're human. But no, I have not. Amazing, thank you.
But you used to have one named
Tony.
A dog named Tony.
I had a dog named Tony growing up, but Tony didn't live in the house. We didn't feed him out of the dishes that in the kitchen. I don't even think we ever fed Tony. I just think Tony went out there and got his own food. We didn't have to take him to the doctor because the things of the earth given to him by God. The medicine was in the grass. He took a bath in the grass. He took care of himself, even though he would come in the house sometime. But Tony did not live in the house. Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. 888-7753-773. Let me go to first-time caller out of Texas, KENDRA. I believe that's it. KENDRA, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, KENDRA.
How are you?
All is well.
Good. I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
I need very, sound advice. So I moved in with my fiance. I came from a narcissistic parent, and we moved in together. We believed in God. We still do. And I believe there's a difference between believing and having a relationship with God. And now that I'm starting to develop more and more relationship with God, he has opened my eyes to some things. And we stopped, having unmarital sex within the home. And I'm still continuing to build my relationship with him. And my fiance, he believes in God and stuff like that. And but I want him to experience the relationship with Christ and stuff like that. And I want to know in good conscience, because we're supposed to get married next month, that we're doing the right thing still, because I want a godly man over our home. So I need advice.
Because you want what now?
A godly man, over the household and stuff like that. I want him to experience
And so
a relationship with Christ too.
And why do you want him to have a relationship with Christ?
Because it's just better. And, we're going to get married, and I want us to be good with God.
Oh, I see. But you're not supposed to want for another person to have a relationship with God.
Right.
Because your wanting is selfish. You want him to have that because you want him to be what you want him to be, but he might not want that. And God's not going to develop a relationship with anyone who doesn't want one with him. And so your reason for it are wrong. You're not supposed to want that for him.
Okay.
And why are you getting married? You said next month?
Yes.
Why are you getting married and you're so unhappy already?
Oh, I'm not unhappy. I'm good. It's just, I just want a godly home,
Right, but that's not going to happen unless he wanted to.
Yeah.
You can't want that for him. It's normal that women want to be married. It's normal that women want children, but you shouldn't want it over what's right. You should want God first. Seek first the kingdom of God, and then things will be added. Why don't you live apart for a year, starting now? Live apart for a year so you guys can see if you really love one another and want to be together. Because right now you don't know what you feel for him because you're emotional. You've been living with him, and you don't know that you really want to be with this guy. Why don't you live apart for a year before you get married now, starting now?
Yeah.
That was the question.
Oh, well, I do love this guy, and I do want to be with him, right?
Right.
But there's other factors in play, too. We can't just live apart for a year.
Why not?
And still see. Well, I just don't see another way.
You can go look for an apartment, get the apartment, date, stay engaged if you like, and date, and see what happens. Why can't you do that?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because right now you're going into hell and it's not going to work.
Right.
Can you hold for me?
I can.
All right, hold on. 888-7753-773. The hate news is coming up. Not the fake news, but the hate news. I'll be back in a moment. Manhood Hour is coming up next. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
The Insurrection Act for the border situation, the border problem, the border public disturbance. Nice. That might just happen. We shall see. It's not ruled out. And New Jersey drones, a little update from our greatest president, I think. India. In India, they had a crowd trampling, killed 14, maybe more. U.S. education is worse, even worse, post the China virus overreaction scare. What a mess. And Elon said that SpaceX is rescuing those stranded astronauts, as NASA previously mentioned. SpaceX is going to go get those people. And other mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025 AD. Hang tight, callers and super chatters and listeners. JLP will be right back to your calls, and we'll get to the rest of the super chats, any more that come in, and more great stories. But first, it's Hake News, not fake news. Call Me Nonsense Network. CNN reports that in Stephen Miller, our favorite, one of our top 10 favorite Jews, our being Hakes, talking to Jake Tapper on Call Me Nonsense Network, he did not rule out Trump possibly invoking the Insurrection Act at the U.S. southern border. We know that insurrection makes you roll your eyes because you think of the January 6th mostly peaceful Capitol protests. But there's actual insurrections that happen, such as the allowing the president to deploy the military to suppress insurrections or domestic acts of violence, such as the illegal invaders. Nice. Should have done that for Black Lives Matter, by the way. And New Jersey drones. The White House, white on the inside. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Caroline with a K. I don't know if she's white on the inside. That remains to be seen. She reported drone sightings that sparked. She said that reported drone sightings that sparked panic in New Jersey last month were drones authorized to fly by the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, and not the enemy. Drone sightings were reported at least 6 states: New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio. Arrests been made. They made arrests in connection with drone operations near restricted areas in Massachusetts and California. In response to the public concern, the FAA put in place dozens of drone bans over critical infrastructure, communist buzzword, which have since expired. The new explanation from the White House is in line with what the crooked Joe Biden administration officials had said at the time. The drone sightings were not nefarious. In India, a massive religious festival, so-called religious, has turned deadly after a crowd rush, a stampede of people trampled and killed at least 14 people. The incident occurred early today as tens of millions of so-called devotees went to bathe in a river in one of the most so-called sacred days of the Mahakumbh Mela Hindu festival. Local officials said a barrier near the river broke as throngs of people were walking toward the riverbanks to take up their so-called holy dip in the Indian city of Prayagraj. At least 10 others being treated for minor injuries, so said a hospital source. India Prime Minister Narendra Modi, I like that guy for some reason, I think, shared his condolences in a statement calling the incident extremely sad. Well, that's true. What a mess. America's children are falling further behind in reading in the wake of the China virus scamdemic. Reading is the easiest thing they could have been doing when they were not going to school. But anyway, having made little improvement in math, because they were pushing DEI and racism propaganda after George Floyd, too. According to the latest results of an exam known as the Nation's Report Card. What a mess. And 1,000 yen is how much that it will cost violators who are caught smoking. You Asians and Japanese, you're not even allowed to smoke in Osaka, Japan. Not even vape. Local officials this week, communists maybe, I don't know, fascists maybe, announced a citywide ban on cigarettes and vapes. 1,000 yen fine, about $6. But hey, to beautify the city ahead of the World Expo later this year. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved. There is one line open at 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My brand new biblical question for this week. Are you a memory worshiper? Are you a memory worshiper? Are you? And these questions for you. And to encourage you to get to know yourself. Know thyself if you want life. Because if you don't know yourself, you have death. You're living you're dying and don't know it. And you call death life. Amazing, huh? If you're out and about anywhere in the world, busy doing whatever you're doing, you can't sit and watch the show. Of course, you can podcast, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. Amazing. On your iPhone or iPad. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Wednesday. It's the last hour of the show on Wednesday. And every Wednesday, third hour is and will always be Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male. A man is a male who turned to man.
Alpha male.
Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Detroit rapper is going viral for something other than her music.
I can fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month.
How'd they get this way? How'd she get this way?
Now she's filing a lawsuit.
What about Daddy?
We're going to go and support those that support diversity. And you must remember these DEI programs.
The black man feel the same about his wife as he feel about his. The black man don't want his wife to get up and go to work every morning.
Because a father represents the law in the home.
Yeah.
And a mother represents love in the home.
Amazing. That woman, the fat woman, was she's suing, according to the report, because her feelings were hurt. What the? When did you start being able to sue because your feelings was hurt? You would think she would do something about all that weight. Her feelings should be hurt having to carry that weight around. What the? Manhood Hour. I want to go quickly back to KENDRA, our first time call out of Texas. And KENDRA is living with her boyfriend, her fiancé. She wants to make sure that he knows God, she knows God before they get married. And KENDRA.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to, if you can't say it, I understand, but are you able to say why you can't live separate for a year? Don't break up. Don't end the engagement. But are you able to say why can't you live apart for 1 year so you can see if this is meant to be?
Well, I can't afford it.
You can't get a job?
I am trying to get a job now. And no one's hiring me. No one's hiring me.
No one is hiring you?
Mm-mm.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me. Yeah. I mean, like, I got my SSI, right? But I feel like that's like a burden, kind of, because I can't make more money to sustain for me in our household, and I've been trying to get a job for months. So.
Stay close to your phone. What's a SSI?
Social Security income.
Oh, you get Social. How old are you?
I am 32.
Why are you getting Social Security so early?
Well, that's a good question. I was adopted. They said I am ADHD. My mom pushed for it, so I got it.
You ADHD?
Yes.
So you SSI and ADHD?
Yes.
What? And are you what's ADHD?
ADHD, attention deficit high disorder, I think, something like that.
Oh, and so are you that way? You had that problem?
All my life, yeah.
And why don't you drop your anger so you won't have that problem?
Drop my anger?
Yeah.
For my ADHD, it's more of a attention disorder, I think.
Meaning it's like a physical ailment?
Right.
Oh, meaning that you can't pay attention for too long?
Yes, sir.
And why not?
I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not a doctor. But why don't you drop the anger so you can have the patience to endure all things? If you didn't have anger, then you can pay attention to all things. Why don't you drop your anger?
That's true.
That was a question. Why don't you drop your anger?
I didn't know I had anger.
You didn't know why you didn't know you have anger?
Because I thought I got past that stage.
What?
I thought I got past my anger.
So when you were yelling at your fiancé, you think you're happy?
You're right.
No, that was a question.
No.
So why did you think you dropped your anger, and knowing that when you're yelling at your boyfriend, you're angry? Why do you think you dropped it? Or you got past that?
Because I forgive and move on.
What?
Because I believe that I forgive and I move on. So that doesn't allow me to be angry no more, because I ask God to take away my anger.
But you still have it. Have you noticed that?
No.
You haven't noticed that you still have it?
Mm-mm.
Is that because of your ADHD? You can't pay attention to that either?
No, that's not because of that.
Why?
I've been actively working on myself and getting better
Oh,
with
okay.
how I handle situations.
Have you
and
forgiven
that's
your
why-
parents?
Yes, I have.
Did you tell them?
Yes.
Oh,
I
good.
have.
And are you doing the silent prayer?
I've been praying every morning and throughout the day. Yes.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I don't know what that is.
I
I've been actively.
want you to. So, what type of praying are you doing now?
I am on my knees talking to God.
But that's
and
not
trying
working.
To listen to what.
Have
trying
you
to listen to what He has to say.
Have you noticed that's not working?
I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Really? How old your boyfriend, your fiance?
34.
Oh, okay. And is it hard for him to deal with you?
I don't know. Is it hard for you to deal with me? No, he said no.
Okay. Here's what I recommend. For now, if you can't, the best thing is for you guys to live apart for 1 year. Don't break up. Don't call off the wedding plans. But for 1 year, live apart if you can do it, so you can really see how you really feel about each other, right? And then you know, if things work out, if it meant for you to be married, you end up getting married. But if you can't live together, live apart, I would recommend you stay in separate bedrooms. And I want to encourage you to start doing the silent prayer so you can overcome the anger. And when you drop that anger, you're going to be able to deal with anything that comes your way. But you got to drop the anger.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. I'm trying to wait for them to put it up for me. rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. And do your little hooper to holler on your knees. And when you're doing hooper to holler on your knees, be still and know God. And you will get to know Him, and it's going to be amazing. All right? Hello? KENDRA? Her phone dropped? Oh, okay. So rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Start doing that, all right?
All right. Yes, sir.
Does your boyfriend, your fiance, know that you want him to know God?
Yes, he watches the show all the time.
And how do you feel about him? How does he feel about you thinking that way about him?
He feels like he knows God pretty well.
And do you believe him?
I feel like there's room for him to grow more.
Come back to your phone. You feel that room?
I feel like there's room for him to grow more.
And why do you feel that way?
Because I feel like we both need to start reading our Bibles more. We both need to be on our knees more, and we both need to be in church more.
But none of those things work. Why you need more of something that doesn't work?
To be in the Word more?
Right.
Because I feel like it does work.
If it worked, why are you still screwed up?
Because I'm human, I think. Because
no, that's not why. You human means you just have a body. Why if being on your knees and reading the Bible and going to church work, why are you still screwed up?
I don't know.
Have you noticed that doesn't work?
I am praying that God will make it work for those who love him.
But do you love who? God? You love God?
I do love God
And how do you know you love him?
because he sent his son to die on the cross for me, and because he has been with me throughout my whole life. And now that I am trying to form a relationship with him, I'm getting to know him more.
But you don't love God.
Okay. That's a new take.
Because if you love God, you will have perfect peace already.
Mm-hmm.
If you love God,
perfect.
If you love God, you will have no fear, you will have no anger, you will have no doubt, you will be free.
Right.
But you're not free.
Right.
So why do you say you love God then?
Because I do.
But you don't. Just because you said it, it ain't true. How can you love God and be so unhappy?
That's a good question.
And the answer?
I have no idea.
Because you don't love him. You just think you love him. And thinking that you love him doesn't mean that you love him.
Right. Okay. So what would you suggest? Number
one, you take your eyes off your fiancé and put them on you. Work on you. I want you to start. Okay. It sounds like you went and forgave your parents. I want you to start doing the silent prayer. Stay present instead of being lost in your head, thinking about what you want, thinking about the past or the future, or get rid of all your ideas about God and about Christ, about anything. And so that God can take over. You will know God when you come out of your head about God or anything. And let your fiancé work on himself, you work on yourself, and everything will work out.
I believe that.
So start doing the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, and take your eyes off your fiancé. Let him work out his own life. It's enough trying to overcome your own issue. You can't change someone else.
You're right.
Will you start working on you?
Yes, I will start working on me.
All right. And will you take your eyes off your fiancé?
Sure will.
Okay. Let me know how it goes. Start doing the silent prayer. And what you need is to be still. You need to live in the present where God is rather than living in your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
Yes, sir.
Let me know how it goes, all right?
Oh.
Any other question?
No, sir. That was it.
All right. I wish you well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Here's a reason. It's Manhood Hour. Then I'll get back to your calls and super chat. Here's a reason why men should be running office, not women. Men are created to lead, not women. It's never going to work with the woman and lead. It ain't going to work. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter how many degrees she got or not. It doesn't matter the color, where she live or don't live, whatever. It ain't going to work. Watch this from, this is from KCRA3. No, not that. I want to play this for you. Hold on. There, I'm looking for that black woman out of Chicago. Oh, I gotta go back up to hour 1. Amazing. I want you to see this from WGN TV. A board meeting in the south suburb Tuesday night was it was feisty from start to finish, but things took a violent turn during public comment when a brawl erupted. Watch this from WGN TV.
Micah and Ray, this meeting was feisty from the very start, but things turned violent during that public comment when a brawl unfolded, putting an end to all of this as it spilled out into the parking lot and left people running out of the building. A board meeting turned brawl, prompting a police response and the meeting to end abruptly. Township Supervisor Tiffany Heyndard right there in the middle of it. Fists went flying after a man known for speaking out against Heynard made his feelings clear once again, but he wasn't the only one with something to say.
Why you always trying to call somebody else out? We're calling you out.
William, you're out of here, okay? You're out of here. You don't even live in the township.
Two Heynard allies that work for the township, including her boyfriend Kamal Woods and confidant William Moore, now on paid administrative leave after a board vote.
Court retaliation, so again, thank you for the lawsuit.
Heynard combative throughout the meeting, especially toward board members that didn't side with her on votes. It was the first meeting for new trustee Stephanie Wiedemann, who also made it clear she's not bowing down to the self-proclaimed super mayor.
I don't trust the person in charge to take accountability for anything else that's going on.
Amazing. Tiffany is a mess. And we reported on Tiffany before. She is a mess. And the blacks in the town don't like Tiffany. What a mess, huh? Well, they are. For the last 2 months, for 2 months, the township has been without insurance. Watch this.
Among the biggest agenda items to pass, insurance policies that had lapsed, prompting many services to be halted. For close to 2 months, the township has been without insurance on general liability, auto, property, and other policies.
Because all our buses will be out and running.
But lapsed insurance didn't stop township buses from being used to shuttle people to Heynard's Big Bingo Night in December. Still, this means doors open again to the public at the township's government building, something met with positive reaction from residents.
And that's all we've been asking for. Accountability, transparency, doing the right thing.
Amazing. You still want these people running your town, your country? What a mess, huh? We've been showing you little things about how Tiffany, she's a movie star in her mind. And she doesn't care what the people think. Tiffany's doing it Tiffany way. What the? What a mess. Ladies, you were not created to lead. You're doing the best you can when they allow you to get in these positions, but it's not going to work because it's not in your nature. Even in the home, you need the man to lead. You need the man to show you how to even deal with the children. That's why you need a husband, because the man is the head of the family, of the woman and the children. I want to show you this soundbite from 1968, where at one time, black people knew this. It changed once the so-called civil rights movement started, which was one of the worst things that ever happened to the blacks, other than abortion. Watch this from 1968.
If the white man would stop and realize and think that the black man feel the same about his wife as he feel about his. I think it would be a better understanding, too. The black man don't want his wife to get up and go to work every morning and punch a time card right along with him. He wants his wife home just like the white man wants his wife at home.
Because a father represents the law in the home, and a mother represents love in the home. You take when a child come in and he's hurt or bruised or something, he goes to mama. But when he come in and he has a problem, he goes to daddy, you know, because he figured daddy is the symbol of law. Daddy is a symbol. He comes to daddy because daddy can help him.
And I don't think it's good that a mother have to get out and work and leave her children at home. It makes bad children. It causes some children to go astray. It's too much freedom, whereas there's a girl in the home. It causes illegitimate pregnancy in the home from the girl. And just any number of things that it causes when a parent have to go out and leave her children at home by themselves.
Amazing, huh? Remember the good old days? And so they've been lying to you, the blacks, and to liberal whites, that black people need white people to give them free stuff and let them in without earning it. That's not the way it used to be. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. What a mess. Thank God for Trump. He brought light into this world. And men, your light is out, but you're the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Your light is just out. Turn back to the Father. And ladies, you turn to the Father too. Don't wait for the men, because it might not happen. You can return to the Father by forgiving your mother and your earthly father. God will forgive you and make you free. You're not stuck, ladies. You ain't got to have no man to be free. You got to work on you. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If they do, they lying. You don't need a man. You just need to admit you're angry. And then forgive. And you'll be fine. But you gotta forgive, because you can get rid of man with a man. And if you don't work on you by forgiving and being present, you're still going to be held to pay and unhappy. Only God can change that. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Nashville, Tennessee. Kyle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, good morning.
Hey,
amazing.
Amazing.
It's awesome to connect with you, man. I've listened to your show for some years. Like, go to work and I listen to Get a Job, Savage Moments, and laugh my ass off. It just makes the day a lot better. It's pure comedy.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was just calling in. Like the other week, I tried to call in. The phones were tied up. I had to go to work. But, I was going to comment the whole Gavin Newsom thing in California. I watched what happened like in 2020, and still that noise is happening. And just want to say Governor Gavin Newsom is a beta.
What a beta male. You're right, man. And it's that way because the voters keep voting for the same people. And it's going to be interesting now to see what happens, that they can now see that the Democrats in California have not done anything good for the state at all. And it's going to be interesting to see if they still vote for the Democrats.
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember back in had to be like 2020 some point, or maybe 2021. I remember there was a story of a woman who had her own business, a restaurant that she owned, and she was forced to move it outside for the essential rules they were putting in place.
Yeah.
So she moved her whole restaurant outside, and then she said that she got a notice that still didn't pass requirements, but then she saw like Gavin Newsom hosted Hollywood like cinema type of meeting with me.
Oh, they were having
outside,
right.
50 feet away.
They were having fun while the people were locked down. Amazing. Let me take a quick break. The treasure chest is now open on D-Line. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, welcome back. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-A report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11, right after the Hake Report, JLP Friday TV. JLP Friday TV. He black at 11 a.m. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. Amazing, huh? And don't forget, you got to purchase Punchy's coffee. Punchy coffee. Freshest flavor. Every bag roasted to order. Amazing, huh? Every bag roasted to order. Top quality, specialty grade beans. Good. And it's 100% of the proceeds benefit our 501c3 nonprofit bond. And we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. All right, 100% goes back to bond. It's available in whole beans or ground beans. Ground coffee. Whole beans or ground coffee. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Let me go quickly back to Kyle, first-time caller out of Nashville. Kyle, you were talking about how bad things are in California with Newsom and all those people. Down in Tennessee, it's the government Republicans or Democrats?
I think it's mostly like a red state over here. When I noticed, I moved here in 2018 from like North Illinois. I used to volunteer in Chicago. After I moved away, Chicago turned into a violent like hellhole.
Right.
My friend kept giving me reports from the church he used to help out with, and but slowly major cities have been moving out to the Nashville area. Tons of apartments are raising up everywhere, and some people out here lady told me when I first moved here, "Oh, you used to live by Chicago? I hope we could be like Chicago one day." And I said, "No, you don't want to be like Chicago, nice lady. You want to stay nice and green and keep the woods and nature nice in Tennessee out here. You don't want to be like Chicago."
And so they're building those apartments over there in the same way they're doing here?
Yeah, they're like, it's like massively, like, apartments are raising up all over the place. And it looks like they're just, yeah, it is a mess because I see the way that people in Chicago behave with each other. They're breathing on top of each other, driving all over each other, flipping their fingers off, shouting violence. It just causes more violence, more uneasy, unsteady kind of mind, and yeah, people will become animals.
So are you going to buy some land outside there, kind of out in the suburb area before it's too late?
I go to this one church down like in the country, like an hour and a half away. When I can, go out help them with the animals on this farm that they have. And, it's nice out there. That's like my getaway.
Are you going to buy some land out there?
At some point, I might lean towards doing something like that.
Yeah, get yourself a piece of land, man. Because they're like building these apartment buildings everywhere. They turn the whole inner cities around the country to ghettos.
Oh yeah. So that's really what it is.
Yeah. I recommend you buy yourself a piece of land. You have a little farm and some cows and horses and so you won't be caught up in the crowd. Kyle, thank you for your call, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. Amazing.
Amazing. All right. Amazing. Let me go to Anthony. Anthony, a first-time call out of California. Anthony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How's it going?
All is well, Anthony.
I just want to say, first of all, I really enjoy the content lately, and I've been having a pretty good open mind about all of the methods that you're suggesting, getting rid of the thoughts, getting rid of hate, and all that stuff.
Are you on a speaker or a headset or something?
I'm on my AirPods. Do you want me to switch over to my cell phone?
Yeah, hold on. Don't hang up. Derek will talk to you when you're ready. I'll come back to you. Do not hang up. Because Derek, tell everybody not to do it. Derek, talk to him and let me know when he's ready. Let me go to Alex, a first-time caller out of Serbia. What the? Around the world. Alex, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm a big fan.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I just asked you. I just called in for some advice. I'm 29 years old, and I have issues with acquiring friendships. One of my best friends, he's also 29, and he's basically playing a card game called Yu-Gi-Oh! And so the problem that I have with him is that he hides that from women. He likes to hide that from other women, and I usually call him beta for that because it's just like if you're gonna hide yourself from like that's the big part of him as a personality, and he's just being a beta. So I don't know what to do with him.
Your question for me is what?
Is it right that he's like a 29-year-old playing a Yu-Gi-Oh game and hiding from women that?
Well, it's neither right nor wrong, but you shouldn't care either way. It shouldn't be bothering you either way. You work on you, and you live your life, and let him live his life however he chooses to live it. And don't you care either way. Don't let it bother you either way.
All right. Do you have any advices in general how to get into meaningful friendships and have some sort of connection?
The best way to have the best friendship is by not having any friendship. Don't try to have friends, because if you try to have a friend or friends, you're gonna have to try to work at making it happen. So you can hang out with people, you can go to the clubs or whatever you do with people, but don't call it a friend. You just hang out, you talk on the phone sometimes, But don't look for a friend. That doesn't exist. That is an illusion. No such thing as a friend.
All right. And also, I have another friend, my friend Chris. He's from U.S. and he's obsessed with your content. And I have issues with like speaking to him. Like he would just like I would be like, "Hi, Chris," and he would be like, "Beta, what up, man? You black?" Like he's just like a soundboard there. I don't know what to do. Like every time I talk to him, he's like, "What up, man?
What the?
What the? Hey, black."
Don't let it bother you. Don't be if you don't ever. Here's the key. Never get angry at anyone about anything. And so when you call him up, and it's difficult to communicate because he said beta and all that. Don't get mad at him. And if you have something to talk to him about, you talk to him. If not, you can hang up. But stay away from anger. All right.
Yeah, but I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like, Chris, I had a really bad day. I was like, I was going to like, I had like an accident on a traffic accident, whatever. And he's like, beta, like. Like I just can't get out of I just can't get anything out of him.
Right. When you so if he's not ready to conversate, just say, "Okay, I gotta go," but don't get angry. You stay away from anger.
All right.
Really?
Yeah. You're right.
I promise you will have a perfect life if you stay away from anger and fear.
All right. Do you?
So let him.
Do you know? Sorry, go on.
So let him be however he want to. Let people live however they want to live. That's their lives. And it has nothing to do with you or your life. Your world is your world. You work on your world so you can have peace on this earth. And let everybody else live and do and say whatever they want to do. And don't let it bother you.
Okay. So... regarding the friendships, you say that I should not seek any friendships. What about the connections?
Never, ever, ever, but never, ever, 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 ever seek a friendship. And then you just live your life, and you're going to be running into people, you're going to talk to people, you're going to hang out with people. Just leave out friendship. Don't bring that into it. Don't call it that. And if you don't, and if you don't call it friendship, you have nothing to gain or lose, and yet you will enjoy being around people. And if you're not around them, you'll be fine. And there are no requirement because you have not called it anything. It's like when men and women get married. One of the primary problems, or the reason that they have problems in marriage, is because soon as they get married, they think they own one another. And ownership means you got to control it. You got to act the way you wanted to act. You got to say what you wanted to say. You got to be the way. But if you didn't put any title on it, you will have no problem. So don't look for a friend. You just live your life. And you'll be able to have people around you. You'll have people to talk to. You'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, but do not look for a friend. It doesn't work because it's just a word and it's not real.
All right. Can you, for the last thing, can you just call my friend Chris Beta? You would love that.
Chris, don't be a beta. Be an acronym.
Yeah, I got that. Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, man.
Amazing.
Call me again, Alex.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
God bless.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye now. Amazing. Super chat. Super chat.
Super chats.
The man bought a coffee. Happy birthday, Sharsui. Love the man.
Amazing. Thank you.
Wayne, I am that I am. 5 coffees.
Thank you, Wayne.
Jesus confirms the death of the ego as follows. Luke 24:38. And he said unto him, Why art thou troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Amazing.
Amazing. I'm telling you, folks, you got to die from these thoughts. You want a no-thinking life. You want a no-thinking life. You got to die from thoughts. Otherwise, you're walking dead. anyone that's into thought, you're dead. Dead to life. Your eyes are open, you're breathing, but you're dead. You're blind and can't see. Your thoughts, the so-called good ones or the bad ones, are your enemy. They're your enemy. Do what you want, but you got to live, if you want to be free, no anger and no thinking. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Great verse. Wayne, I am that I am. Kieran, bought a coffee, no message.
Amazing. Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on the D-Live crew. Games for Rec, taking care of business. Kilo, Alpha, Tango, Misty. Wolf336, Kid Combo 1, Groovy Monkey, and the rest of the supporters as always. And thank you guys. Oh, shout out to the Rumble supporters, of course. And thank you guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Dear, who was I talked to, but they were on their earphones? Anthony? Oh, okay, I forgot. Anthony. Okay, he just dropped. Oh, okay. Anthony, call back, but do not be on your AirPod. All right, buddy. Let me go to Arthur out of Texas. Arthur, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How you doing today?
All is well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Just being real quick. So I've been doing the silent prayer again, day and night. I started a few years ago, and I had seen a tremendous change in my life. I had was able to start going to the gym and, being aware of my thoughts, and also just I started to see success in my business and in my relationship with my wife and my kids that I had never experienced. Somewhere along the way, I got distracted again, and I started veering off the path.
Right.
To which, I noticed, that I lost a lot of those things as well. I started going through, I guess you could say, hell. A lot of the things that, a lot of thoughts that began come back in my head, and I started seeing turmoil, and all those things actually ended up ballooning and gaining double what I had lost in weight. And so the past year I had tried to do it what I had perceived as my own way, with no success. A lot of times I had become, I guess, maybe critical and almost depressed because I wasn't seeing success, nor did I have the confidence anymore to push my businesses. And just the beginning of this year, this month, I started doing the silent prayer again, morning and night. I've become a lot more aware of my thoughts, but I also have become aware of prior to this month that I was doing a lot of looking for things, or maybe even trying to force things. So I guess my question to you is, as far as it goes with my businesses and my job, should I continue to look for additional opportunities? Should I just continue to focus on the prayer and it would be given into me? Or I just wanted to know so I'm not thinking about it consistently.
I want to really encourage you to not think on what has happened, not think about the past or the future. Just simply come back to the silent prayer and be aware of the thoughts right now, and just be aware of them. Don't call them you ever again, no matter what happened. It's not you, no such thing as you, and everything will fall back in place. You just went deeper into thoughts, that's all. And one thing happened, so you went deeper into another thought and another thought and another thought. So you brought all those things upon yourself. Just come back to present and you're fine. Everything will work out.
Okay, awesome. All right. And then as far as it goes, while I'm doing the silent prayer, during the day, I noticed that it's a lot easier just to be present. The only times I feel as if I have a bunch of thoughts running through my head is right before I'm about to start doing my silent prayer.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Abnormal, normal is only because the thoughts are trying to seduce you back into hell. When you see it, just know those are not your thoughts, and become aware of that, and you'll be fine. Really, it's just thoughts, and don't fall for the lie. But if you do find yourself becoming emotional, then just know your inner thought. Be aware of that. Don't do anything about it. Just be aware, and the awareness would change it for you. It would take them away from you.
Awesome. Okay. And thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking the time today. And just want to say one last thing.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, my wife called. She was the one who asked about the use of the B word.
Oh, what's the B word?
What a bitch. But I didn't take the opportunity to relish in being correct, but it was more so beautiful to see that call has actually sparked something in her as well, that she's trying to go down the path to be able to forgive her mother and father. So I just wanted to tell you thank you for, despite not being able to physically know anybody, with just being truthful and being real. I appreciate that. It just seems to me as pure love. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, man. You stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And again, whatever has happened, it's over. It doesn't exist anymore. If you put on weight, just no big deal. Just know that you put the weight on. Start eating right. Going to the gym or whatever you do. Don't make anything a big deal. Nothing is a big deal. You have no problems. It's just a thought wants you to think you do. Stop believing all that stuff, all right?
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, buddy. Thanks. Let me go to, is it LIEZL? LIEZL out of California. LIEZL, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
You're the person I wanted to speak to this morning, Mr. Jesse.
Good morning, LIEZL.
You know what?
What?
You are going to be the recipient of my first Valentine's Day card. I know it's still a while, but I want you to get the first one. So
wow. I'm in love again.
Please expect me in the mail, and I remember your birthday's in June, so I'm going to be sending you something in June as well. So look for me in the mail, and I'm going to call Joelle and Nick today.
My birthday is in May, not June.
Okay, so I guess that was Nick.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad, Mr. Jesse, you have wonderful men, and they're my brothers, so I can't wait to call Nick today because I just been putting it off, but he's a wonderful man, and he's part Spanish like me. Joelle, I'm going to call you. Thanks, Mr. Jesse. I have love in the mail for you soon. Bye.
Bye now. Amazing. 888-7753. Let me go to Boston and talk to Claudio. Claudio, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
All is well, Claudio.
So I was on the show maybe about a month ago. I don't know if you remember, but we were talking about how I lost my past and basically now I'm getting back on it and to not give in to the anger to the mother of my children. And I basically almost watch his show almost every day. And there were some things that I had questions about, but as I started just doing more of the watching of the thoughts and not giving into them,
yeah,
I started seeing like a lot of the stuff that you were saying almost at light speed. Because first I started doubting it, right? And then it was almost like as soon as I started doubting it, everything started just coming right to the forefront. All the proof that I ever needed was just hitting me from left to right. And there was this one day where I was hearing these voices, and I knew that they weren't mine. There was nobody there with me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, where is this coming from? This is nuts. And I just thought back to myself, and I just thought back to the show and what you've been saying. And I just wanted to tell you that what you're doing, I know a lot of people come on this show and they yell and scream and they think you're crazy, but like there is a lot of truth in what you've been saying. And for anybody listening that doesn't want to believe in that whole, like, you know, the whole evilness and where it comes from. I don't know if you noticed, Jesse, but I was watching this thing. It was a white woman, right? It was a white woman. She was talking about how basically children that grow up with just their fathers as single fathers, right, have the same chance as both parent households. That alone blew my mind when I heard that as a fact. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then they were saying basically like people that grow up with their single mother usually end up in jail. And I was just floored And these are facts. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't like a lady just on here talking about stuff, trying to make people believe something. Like, these are facts.
Yeah.
Like 100% facts. And I just want to thank you for bringing all this to the forefront and letting people know what is really going on, even if they don't want to believe it, because it's true anyway.
Amazing. Well, you stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Don't stop, no matter what. You stay with it, and you haven't seen anything, man. It gets clearer and clearer and clearer for you.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. We don't have time.
Super chats.
He said, we don't have it right now, and we don't have time. I'm out of time. Call us. I can't go up to you. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake, Hake report.com. And after the Hake Report, Joel Friday TV, he black. Amazing. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. Listen, folks, do what you want. But if you want life, you got to die from the ego. You got to lay your anger down. You cannot judge, period. You're not God. Judging, keep you away from God. Because you're your own God. False God, but still you think you're God. And they'll be angry and stay away from thoughts. All right? Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. And forgive your mother and your father, all human beings. None exception. No exception. I don't care what you think. No exception. And then stay on that straight and narrow so you can overcome the ego, the imagination. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Emotions are all lies all the time about anything. When she's crying, she's lying. Amazing! Stay with it, all right? The Hake Report is coming up now. The callers, tomorrow is Bible Thumper Thursday. What the? I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old, and ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you, and I just can't even begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.